Sometimes the cost of human error can be very expensive, especially in the construction industry. From towering skyscrapers to other complex infrastructural projects, all require very much planning, but sometimes things may go out of our hands, which can leave both wallets and reputations in shambles. So let's see at the most expensive construction mistakes ever made. But before we go further, make sure to like and subscribe for more interesting and factual content. Number 15 is the Galloping Gertie. Famously known as the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, it is one of the most expensive construction failures. Opened to people in the year 1940, this bridge was in Washington State. This bridge was a promising project that connected the Kitsap Peninsula to Tacoma, but what happened is very shocking. This bridge collapsed in just 4 months. It was later found out that the main reason for this was an aeroelastic flutter and shallow design. The bridge collapsed into the water below. Thankfully, there weren't any human casualties, but the financial loss was quite the opposite. During that time, it was around $6.4 million, which, when you adjust it for inflation in today's modern times, that is almost around $100 million. And number 14 is the Lijiang Star City. This construction was a symbol of prosperity in the Jiangsu province of China. The grandeur of this project was a result of the metropolis boom. However, due to mismanagement and some economic downturns, this project turned out to be a disaster. The project was started in 2011 by building almost 19 high buildings covering over 340 acres, but it came with a lot of challenges. It's been more than 8 years and 15 buildings remain unfinished. In 2021, a few of the towers were demolished using explosives. The failure to complete the construction and not utilize it properly has led to a huge financial loss. Number 13 is the Hallandsås Rail Tunnel. The Hallandsås Rail Tunnel is located in southern Sweden and was a huge infrastructural project that was aiming to create a link in the transportation network connecting Helsingborg and Gothenburg. The project mainly aims to reduce travel time and enhance the economic development of the region, but it turned out to be a blunder in Swedish history. The problem started with the geological instability because there were layers of water-bearing clay and rock that weren't there as per the prior analysis. There were several management issues along with poor planning, and in 1997, a major water leak flooded the tunnel, which led to a lot of trouble and requires spending more money on fixing it, which is around 14 billion kroner. And number 12 is the Mississippi Bridge collapse. The 2007 collapse of the Mississippi Bridge is still a tragedy that haunts many people to this day. This infrastructural failure has cost a lot. The interstate bridge collapsed during rush hour and almost 13 people died in this incident and 145 were critically injured. The bridge played an important role in commutes and commerce, mainly in Minneapolis and Minnesota. The main reason pointed out was a design flaw, especially caused by a gusset plate that couldn't handle the weight during rush hour. From legal settlements to infrastructural repairs, it cost more than $400 million. Number 11 is the Hancock. The Hancock Tower, a symbol of modernity in Boston's skyline, has a cautionary tale of construction that has cost, well, a lot. Its construction was completed in 1976, and it was a landmark that caught the attention of a lot of people. However, the design itself, which attracted people, was the reason for its downfall. The parallelogram windows added to its beauty, but the inferior quality of the glass ruined everything. The installation techniques were also inadequate. The windows weren't able to withstand the extreme weather conditions, leading to stress factors. It cost around $75 million, which was a huge sum during that time. But stay with us because number 8 on this list really broke the bank. And number 10 is the Millennium Tower. The Millennium Tower, which was known for its luxury and modernity in San Francisco, was a very expensive construction. The construction was completed in 2009. A 58-story residential building was a project that offered a beautiful view and a lot of amenities to its inhabitants, but the engineering mistakes turned everything upside down. After its completion, many residents reported that there were significant tilting and sinking, and it started to happen in a more alarming state. Residents suffered a big loss, which later turned into a legal battle. The main reason was a mistake in the foundation. The whole construction money plus compensation was a huge sum in total. And number 9 is the Sampoong department store. The bustling retail store located in Seoul, South Korea was opened in 1990. The store was so popular among people as it had almost everything, and the location was very convenient for many. However, the building had many structural flaws that led to its downfall. On June 29th of 1995, the store collapsed, and more than 100 people were trapped under the rubble. Over 500 people lost their lives, which was a devastating number. The main reason behind this was some random modifications made to the structure. Some of the support columns were removed without proper analysis. The financial loss was so high that it paid off billions of dollars. Number 8 is the Hotel of Doom. The Ryugyong Hotel located in North Korea is famously known as the Hotel of Doom. This was part of North Korea's plans to build a hotel that would be the tallest in the world, but the idea turned into a disaster. It was a huge building with around 3,000 rooms and 105 stories, but the construction faced many problems. The first was the delay in construction and the economic turmoil. The construction didn't continue until after 1992 and the building was left unfinished, which cast a dark shadow over the city. The financial loss was so huge that billions of dollars went to waste without purpose. And number 7 is the Olkiluoto 3 nuclear power plant. The nuclear power plant located in Finland was a costly construction mistake for the whole nuclear sector. This was going to help in the development of nuclear technology in the country, but it faced a lot of delays, which were initially caused by some licensing issues. The construction plan adopted some sort of unproven reactor technology, which later led to unforeseen challenges technically, causing so many problems. The project started with a $3.2 billion budget, which later became $10 billion. But despite all of this, the project remained unfinished, a huge loss. But number 4 on this list is an even crazier mistake, so be sure to stick around to find out. Number 6 is the Harmon Hotel. The Harmon Hotel, located in Las Vegas, was a luxury addition to the city. It was one of the costliest hotel construction projects ever, but it turned out to be a blunder because of some structural defects. The stemming was done on improperly installed steel bars, which made it very unsafe for people to stay in. The building was never fully constructed, which led to a huge financial loss. The hotel was built, but it later had to be demolished. So summing up all of those expenses, it was a total financial mistake due to poor management and rushed construction. And number 5 is the Champlain Towers. The collapse of the Champlain Towers in Florida was a tragic construction that resulted in a huge financial loss. The exterior looked so luxurious, but there were many hidden structural problems, like cracked concrete and corrosion. The collapse was so sudden that no one anticipated that it would lead to the deaths of 98 people, and many more were severely injured. There was no proper maintenance, and a lot of negligence caused this. The financial repercussions were so bad, with a lot of money going just like that because of legal liabilities and settlements that exceeded millions of dollars. And number 4 is the Channel Tunnel. Connecting England to France, this project was renowned for its connectivity, but a financial issue halted the project. The initial budget was around $4 billion, which later became $9 billion. There were other reasons, like some technical problems that delayed the construction. The geological obstacles and safety concerns were analyzed, but the way to tackle them didn't work, leading to a lot of financial loss. The private company that got the contract went into debt, causing more problems. Due to a lack of management, the project took a lot of time. And number 3 is the Walkie Talkie. Located in London, this place is officially known as the 20 Fenchurch Street, which is a truly architectural marvel, but it turned out to be a costly blunder. There were a lot of flaws in the design and structure, which were causing a lot of problems. The building was in a concave shape and it had mirrors, but it was reflecting intense sunlight on nearby cars and buildings, which led to actually melting some parts. This was also called a death ray. This eventually led to the installation of some sunshade devices on the exteriors. This cost a lot of money due to the consequence of inadequate planning. And number 2 is the Big Dig. This was a massive highway project to solve traffic congestion, but later turned out to be a costly construction project. The initial estimate was $2.8 billion, but when the final cost was announced, it turned out to be $15 billion, which needless to say is a lot more than expected. The poor planning and delays led to too much expenditure. There were a lot of engineering complexities and construction mishaps that led to this particular problem. While later on the project was a success, the amount put in was huge and way more expensive than it should have been. And at number 1 is the Leadenhall Building. Located in London, the Leadenhall, famously known as the cheese grater, was an idea that stood as a symbol of innovation. The journey started with an investment of $286 million, but as the construction continued, the amount of money rose up to $700 million. The main reason for this was changes made in the design plan, which led to many construction mistakes. Despite its luxurious look, the Leadenhall building stands as a reminder of an expensive construction mistake, which was a result of poor planning and negligence. So what do you think of these blunders? Let us know in the comments down below. These construction mistakes aside, there's this project that makes you think that you made a mistake hearing it. Find out about Saudi Arabia's secret $1 trillion skyscraper that is 75 miles long.